wow, yeah, then all of a sudden a lot comes out. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be diving into a Deck of Scarlet box. There she blows. So I haven't done a review of Deck of Scarlet on my channel for a while. Some of the boxes I've been receiving just using, kind of giving some feedback on, like some of them were in my April favorites video, which I will link for you guys in the eye so you guys can go check out my April favorites video. And so I received this lovely box. It's actually smaller than their boxes as usual. But I saw the preview for it and they said that it was going to be a full palette again, which I love their full palettes a lot more than I like their eye, face, lip palettes. So we're going to open up this box, see what's inside. Status formula is good for you ingredients. So let's open her up. They actually changed the way that they ship things, I'm noticing. It actually used to be a little bit more sturdy when they would ship it, and it would actually be all foam on the inside. And now it's just a little foam sleeve, which is really interesting. So then we have Meet Nessa Sunshine, an artist-in-chief for this season. So it says, hello sunshines, we are ready for spring and this summer with a soft bloom palette, which is in this box here. And it says it has a handful of delicate shades inspired by nature, designed to nurture your beauty routine into full bloom. For this palette of soft pastels, they partnered with Nessa Sunshine as the season's artist-in-chief. So it's themed after spring into summer. It has some pastel colors. So here's the packaging. Forget what you think you know. We're hitting refresh and reconnecting with nature. This look is perfectly imperfect, elevated, but not airbrushed, and all the sexier for it. Let's look at the palette. So there's the palette. It's supposed to be a combination of pastels so that you can create a spring to summer look. So I can't wait to dive into this. And then you also have in here, pulling out one more thing, it is an eyebrow gel, feather brow, and it is clear, so it has two sides. It has a comb side, and then it has, oh, I guess it just turns. Okay. They even have these cute little cards that come with the product now, which I thought was really interesting. And then they have the little expiration date. So this expires in 18 months from being opened. So we'll give this a go today. It's a clear brow gel. Okay, so we're going to start out with the eyebrows first. We're going to try the clear gel. And it does come with a little comb type thing. And then you obviously screw it up. There it is. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Then all of a sudden a lot comes out. Okay. So the bristles do move. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand because it kind of just like flooded out. And we're going to just comb this into my eyebrows. So the clear gel will just set the eyebrows in place. It isn't going to obviously fill them in. It'll just, you know, make them look feathered and fluffy and natural. Kind of curious to know how long it takes for it to dry. So while that dries, let's dive into this palette. So this is the In Full Bloom palette. Some beautiful, beautiful pastels in here. This shade is like totally calling to me. It's super pretty. It's called Meadow Storm. That one's really pretty too. It actually kind of reminds me of one of the other Deck of Scarlet palettes that had a similar color story to it. Oh, geez, that's so pretty. So while my eyebrows dry, super creamy. This has a little bit of a glitter in it. That one's Meadow. Let's try Storm. You're pretty. Storm. We have Garden, which is like a really pretty teal color. It kind of isn't swatching the way that I thought it would though. Usually their shadows are a little bit more creamy, maybe because it has a little bit of a glitter formula in it, but then that one there is Garden. And then we have Earth, which is this one here, and that one is creamy, pigmented on my finger. That's a very pretty like nude shade. So you can see the difference in between the four swatches. Some of them kind of swatch kind of funny. And then you have Whisper, which is this one here at the bottom, and this one is really creamy as well. That's super pretty. So Whisper is down here. It's a very skin tone color, but very pretty. It'll make a really pretty like brow bone highlight shade. And then you have all your mattes on this side. So let's get into this palette and create something really simple, pretty, the way that she said that it transitions well from spring to summer. So let's do something that would transition well from spring to summer. So we're going to go in with, this is a Morphe brush, and we're going to use Soleil, and I'm going to put this all over my lid. My eyebrows should be pretty much set by now. This side is still tacky, so that's interesting. Not a lot of blending action going on because we're just coating the lid. And then I want to take the green matte shade. We'll be using this one. It's a really, really small crease brush from Morphe, and we're using Clover, which is this really deep green, and we're going to put this in the crease. This green actually really reminds me of like a shamrock green color, like ones that I find in my ColourPop Shamrock palette. Take a flat angled brush. I'm going to really get into this crease here. I almost want it precise, but then a little bit, I'll blend it a little bit and it'll fade out a little bit, but let's get this pretty precise first. So I'm stamping this in the crease first, and then I'm going to go back with my Morphe and I'm going to lightly blend this out. Okay, so we have a really defined crease on this side, and we're going to do obviously the same technique on the other eye. I am going to start out with this brush first, so obviously we're going to stamp it and then I'll blend it. Okay, now that we have the green in the crease, this is just going to be something super simple. So we have the green, and then I want to put on a little pop of Meadow, and then I also want to put on a little pop of Whisper, and then we'll have like a springy, kind of summery look, but this is more springy. It's still spring, at least it should be. So I'm going to take a flat brush and we're going to pack Meadow onto my lid. This is a very flat, dense brush. This is actually not wet, but I may get it wet. It actually has like, almost looks like it has chunks of glitter in it. That Meadow shade I could literally just see if I wanted to do a quick, easy, simple spring or summer like look. Just like putting a pop of that on my lids and then I'm done. Super pretty. So we're going to take Whisper, we're going to put a little bit on the middle of the lid. We're just doing this kind of, it's almost messy but not at the same time. I guess messy would be the best term, but we're patting this on the middle of the lid, and then we will do the brow bone. Now that my eyebrows are dry, we can do the brow bone. And some of that out again. And look how pretty that is. So I am going to take Storm right here, and I'm going to use it as an what would you call it? An eyeliner, in a sense. So if you take like an eyeliner brush, you just dip into it and then you use it like an eyeliner. I'm not going to use any of the shades in here, the matte shades, because there's just not one that's really like super, super dark besides the Clover one, which is already in the crease. And I'm hoping that this one will be pigmented enough to give my eye a little bit of pop, and then we'll also shade it in the lash line, and that should really make the eyes like stand out, pop a little bit, especially if you have green or blue eyes. It'll definitely accentuate those colors in your eyes. Like the green really makes my eyes pop, and then a little bit of that like stormy blue color as well does. So I'm just going to take a little shading brush and we're going to go in to the lash line. Flare it out just a little bit out here, and then we're done with this palette. So I'm going to spray my face, put my mascara on, let you guys know my thoughts and opinions on this eyeshadow palette just from creating this look, and I will be back in a minute. Alright guys, here is the finished look with my mascara on and with the eyeshadow from Deck of Scarlet. If you guys want to know what other products I used on my face, they will be in the description box below, so go check that out if you guys are curious about like any of the other things on my face products. And so, this palette, In Bloom palette, in full bloom. I absolutely love when Deck of Scarlet does a collab with influencers and they make an entire palette. Like, it makes me so happy to see an entire palette where they create something like this. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful palette. It's totally trending right now in what is going on with makeup with pastels and some really great like metallic shades that are pastel as well. It just kind of gives life to your makeup in a way, even though it's pastel. It's not bright, it's pastel. A lot more people wear muted or neutral shades instead of like these bright poppy colors. So this is a great palette for the trend that is going on in makeup right now, the pastel trend. And I think it's absolutely stunning. As far as some of the foiling shades go, they did swatch kind of funny, so I will be playing with them a little bit more to see how they work, how they apply to the eye. As you guys can see by the swatches here, I mean, they are still really, really pigmented, but some of the blue and green shades, like these two here, they kind of swatched a little bit weird. So as I work with this more, we will see how looks turn out, and I will give you guys an update on it. But so far, I really like this palette. I think it's beautiful. Definitely something I would pick up and use every single day, and it will be going into that stash of makeup that I need to try and use. Now, is it in a nude palette? No, not really. I mean, it has some like nude features in it, but then it also has some of these other pastel colors that are not like super, super nude. It is not a nude palette. It definitely has some really great shades in it, especially for spring into summer. This is definitely a spring summer palette. This is not something that would transition well into fall, but it's gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Like I said, I'm going to be playing with it more. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts, my opinions, and if you guys want to see any more eyeshadow tutorials with this, like a 3 eyeshadow look in one video, leave a comment below. I'd really love to know your guys' thoughts, your opinions, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!